Today I have some tips for new tarot users. If this interests you, stick around and let's get into it. Hi and welcome back to the Wholeness Shift. My name is Veronica, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I teach people about easy, practical spirituality and intentional living and all of the little things that you can do to create the life of your dreams. I help you navigate your spiritual awakening path. So if this interests you, hit the subscribe button below, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything good. So a lot of you have asked me about tarot. You've asked me to do videos about tarot, how to do tarot, all about tarot. And honestly, I've avoided it because although I'm into tarot, I am certainly no expert on it. However, I thought that maybe I would start getting into it more, and an in-depth video will come down the road. But right now, I just want to give you 10 tips for new tarot users. Maybe you've bought a new pack, you don't know what to do with it, right? And so here's just 10 things that you should keep in mind when you are a brand new tarot user. And I thought, who better to help me with this than my daughter Amelia?
Hello, it's nice to meet all you guys. I've thought about getting on YouTube for a while, but here I am, ready to talk about some tarot.
Nice. You guys have probably seen her here and there on my channel. She goes by many names. Sometimes we call her Emmy or Emma, but her name is Amelia, and that's what she prefers at this point in her life. She's a full-on grown-up now, and she's like, I want to be called Amelia.
Call me by my real name.
We're trying. So I'm trying to respect it, but habits are hard.
It's okay. You're my mommy. That's different.
Okay, fair enough. But Emma, see, I'm already doing it.
It's okay.
Amelia is so good at tarot. She gives the best readings, I'm telling you. So I thought that she would really be good to help me with these tips to give you guys. And I'm really, really working hard to try to convince her to start her own channel. So if you guys think this is a good idea, comment below, hit the like button. Let us know that you guys would be interested in hearing what she has to say too, because she has so much to teach. She has so much spiritual wisdom. She's so good at what she does. And I mean, who wouldn't want to look at this sweet baby face all the time? So if you want to encourage Amelia to start her own channel, let us know. Join me in the fight. She's like, no.
I mean, if you guys would like it, I wouldn't mind it. It's just like that first big step is scary, to go out on your own and talk about the things, human consciousness, energies, the Schumann resonance, like the 5D earth, like that's the type of stuff I would talk about. And like also tarot and crystals and chakras and Reiki, energy work.
Yeah.
Yep.
See? She's a wealth of knowledge. She's who I turn to most of the time. I'm like, I'm so glad you're here. Let me pick your brain. Ask your spirits this, or what do you think about that? So she would be really good at this. So help me convince her. That's just the dragon guarding the gold.
Yes. Gotta slay the dragon.
Gotta slay the dragon, you know? It's just beginner's nerves, and that's natural, right? Just a little bit of stage fright. But you have a calling. You have a gift, and people will benefit from this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's get started. So number 1, when you get a new deck, you want to get to know your deck.
Yep, so when you get your deck, my box is pretty beat up, but I have a few different decks, and tarot usually works best when they are gifted to you. So what I like to do before
But you can buy your own, right?
You can. That's just a superstition. It really is. It's just a superstition.
Okay.
You can buy your own. You can.
But there's a certain special energy, a little secret sauce that's on it when someone gifts it to you. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I think it's all just like superstition. Like, I believe in the superstition of they have to be gifted. And I actually manifested a gifted deck from my boyfriend's grandmother. This is from 1973.
Nice.
These cards are so old.
Hey, I'm from 1973. It's not that old.
Well, you're not a tarot card. You're not a tarot deck. So just go through and look at the different symbolism and the meanings, and also you can go through and even read your guidebook. That helps a lot. Just knowing what the different series means, or the different parts. Like pentacles, knowing what the pentacles mean, knowing what swords and wands, and knowing all the different minor and major arcana, knowing what they mean is just very important. And also, these cards are easy for me to read because at the bottom they say stuff like Lord of Harmonious Change, Lord of Victory. I know there's a card in here that talks about like material work. It's easier for me to intuitively read that way. And also how I intuitively read is I look at the symbolism and I trust my gut on how I'm feeling about what the card has to say.
Nice. Okay. Number 2, you're going to want to charge your deck when you first get it and throughout time. Like, it's not a one and done type of thing. You want to charge your deck when you get it and then from then on. How do you suggest charging your deck?
I literally just put crystals on top of my deck. If it's just sitting on my bookshelf, just literally, it's that simple. You just throw a crystal on it, or also you can sleep with it under your pillow to set your intention. That's really powerful when you just get a new deck, to set your intention and sleep with it and just let it rest with you and charge and absorb your energy while you sleep. I think sleeping with it is really important. Also, setting crystals by it and using it a lot is also another way of charging it, because you're putting your energy, you're working with this energy to...
So it doesn't get stagnant.
Yes.
Yeah, disconnected from your energy. Number 3, you want to look through your book and see if you resonate with that book. And if you don't, because not all books are created equal. And so if you don't resonate with that book, like I just gave her a whole deck last week because I didn't feel like it was meant for me. I didn't like the book. And I'm just like, here, take it. And she's like, thank you. I wanted it so bad. So I personally rarely use the books. I actually have a website that I like to use to reference what each of the cards means until I get better at this. But just see if you resonate with the book. See if you are someone who would like to use a website, or see if, like Amelia, you would prefer to just use your gut. She doesn't really look at the books. She really doesn't look at any kind of resource. She goes intuitively by what she sees on the card, the symbolism she sees on the card, what is her intuition telling her that these cards combined mean, and she just completely goes intuitively. Would you agree with that?
I will agree. I will say about 98% of the time I do intuitively read. There will be some times, even for myself or when I'm reading for others, that I will go in and use the book just because... just very rarely I use the book, because the book does have certain meanings. And also, what I do want to say about not just going off your book or going off a different website is each tarot deck and each oracle deck as well, it has its own attitude. Like, each book is not the same. Each book for the 10 of Pentacles may have a different meaning, and it will be that way for each card. I mean, you could set your intention that the 10 of Pentacles across the board means this. Or you can go by each deck. You can have some decks where you just intuitively read, or you could have some decks where you just strictly read by the book. This, my Hermetic Tarot deck, I intuitively read it. I hardly never reach for the book. But for the Tarot of the Witches deck, the way that the cards look, it's very hard for me to intuitively read, just because it doesn't have
They're kind of sparse.
Yeah, it doesn't have
a lot of information to pull off of.
Yeah, and also it doesn't say what it's about. Like, these cards will say that, like, for the Magician, it'll say like the Magus of Power. This card.
And what's the name of this deck?
The Hermetic Tarot.
Okay.
Yes, and then this is the Tarot of the Witches.
Okay. Number 4. You want to wake your deck up. Your deck can go sleepy night time.
Sleepy.
Yeah, your deck can go to sleep, and you want to wake up your deck, and you want to call in your team. So how do you wake up your deck?
I literally just knock on it. I usually go through, before I'm about to read, I go through each and every card. I touch them all individually. And
Not with every reading, though, or just before the first time?
No, every reading.
Oh, okay.
Yes, every reading I go through, and I like to touch each and every card just like this, and I like to make sure that they're all in the correct order. I know that they are because I did it beforehand, but I make sure, hey, this is my birth card, Fortitude, Leo the Lion. You can't really see it, but it's right here. So I put them all in the correct order, and then I turn around so I can't see them. I give them 3 knocks, and I set my intention, and I allow the Ascended Masters and the Tarot and Oracle Masters, God himself, whoever you want to believe gives you the tarot cards. I call upon them, and then I just shuffle like this until the cards that are meant to come out will come out.
Awesome. You can blow on it too, right?
Yes, I also, I'm glad you said that. So that's how I wake up my deck to activate it.
Talk to it, you knock on it, you can blow in it.
Yep, so I realize that spirit takes me much more serious and gives me much louder and more clear answers when I verbalize my question, when I say it out loud, not just in my head. Yes, spirit can hear you in your head, but the intention works much better when you speak aloud. And then after I say my question, I blow into the deck. Everybody has their own little niche on how they do things. I've just always blown on my deck. When I give others readings, I ask them to blow on the deck. I feel like it's really putting your energy, your DNA, your intention into the cards so then they could properly read you.
Perfect. Okay. Number 5. You want to set your intention for what you want from that reading. What question do you want answered? What topic do you want addressed? This can be a specific question, a specific topic, or it can just be general. Like sometimes I'm like, give me some cards for the next 24 hours, or what do you want to tell me about the next 7 days?
Yep. So I agree with everything my mom just said. You can do readings for literally anything in your life. I'm actually working on it right now and putting it into my deck, but there's even ways that you could use the major arcana to get yes or no answers. You just have to go to a valuable source. I have it written down in a notebook, but you can literally write like a Y or a N on your major arcana cards, and you can even get yes or no answers.
So they'll answer you like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can just do like, what is my week gonna bring? And ask them for 7 cards, and you could read it that way. Or you can specifically say, what is the energy that surrounds me? What energy am I going through right now? What's going on that I don't understand or I can't wrap my human mind around? And you could even spy on people's energy because energy doesn't lie, and you cannot hide from energy.
Well, there's spiritual like privacy too, though, isn't there? As you can see, we disagree on some things, and that's okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able to physically spy on you.
So you won't get specific answers, but you could get a vibe.
You could get a vibe,
yeah,
for sure. And depending how powerful, I mean, you can't just spy on that hot guy you saw at the grocery store. In my understanding, you have to physically be connected by etheric cords.
And I know that my other daughter, Courtney, she has a specific card in there that she has designated as her confirmation card. And so, like, if she's asking a question like, will this thing happen, or is this in my best interest, and she shuffles the cards, if they're wanting to confirm with her, that card spits out. That's like her confirmation. So, number 6, how do you want to choose your cards? Some people are like clean and traditional, and they just shuffle 3 times, split the deck, choose the top 3 or the top 5. A lot of other people, like us, we just shuffle, and let spirit spit out whatever they want you to have. So you could end up with 1 card. You could end up with no cards sometimes. You could end up with 20 cards. Just shuffle until spirit is done spitting them out, and then read your cards, right?
Yes, I agree. So, I have a strong enough intuition to be able to shuffle and then flip the top of the deck. But my mom's right, that's not how we do it. We shuffle until spirit spits out. And I feel like I want to say this. If you're shuffling for a long time and you're really focusing on your intention, do not give up shuffling. Spirit will give you the card unless you're absolutely not meant to have it. Because I believe the longer you shuffle, the better answer you're getting, because each card is its own personality. It's its own energy. I mean, it may be a part of a deck, but each card is unique to itself.
So do you want to show them what we mean by like shuffle until spit out? Okay, so what question do we want answered?
All right, Spirit. What energy surrounds
like that
me and my YouTube?
Now, if half of the deck falls out, you probably just dropped the cards. But if it's 1 or 2 or 3...
Another thing, so only sometimes it's all about listening to your gut.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if you're shuffling for a really long time and you're focusing on a question and then 20 cards comes out and you're like, well, what the heck? That's not an answer. Yes, it is. It's not a coincidence.
Ask the question internally, like, were all of those cards meant to come out? And feel in your body or feel in your mind. Follow your intuition or your gut as to whether or not those cards were meant.
Because even if they come out
Just
in
ask.
a clump, Spirit wants you to read them like that. Spirit will never give you boo-boo cards. I mean, you could feel it when you're...
You might give yourself boo-boo cards, the
Yeah.
Spirit won't. So just
Yeah.
ask and then follow your gut.
Yes.
Okay. You want to show them again what we meant? So
Yeah. Sorry, I dropped a card.
that's okay.
Okay. What energy surrounds me, Amelia Arnold, today? So you just set your intention, ask your question. All right, Spirit, if it's meant to come out, please clairvoyantly let it come out. If it's meant to come out, please clairvoyantly let it come out. If it's meant to come out, please clairvoyantly let it come out. What energy surrounds me today? Sometimes it can take a really long time.
Okay, there we
Like
go.
that. The Princess of Pentacles, Princess of the Echoing Hills. Oh, how do you get
Back
this
it up a little bit. It's focused on our face, so.
Yeah, it's really that easy. You just set your intention.
Oh, and there's another one with that one.
Chariot. I'm going somewhere today.
You actually are.
I am actually going somewhere today.
Okay, so that's what we mean. You just shuffle, ask your cards, set your intention with your team, shuffle, and just allow it to give the cards to you.
Yes.
Okay. And then after your cards are chosen, I believe you should look at the bottom card. Like after you do a reading, you have all your cards laid out, turn the deck over and look at the bottom card and let that card be a part of your reading as well. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree. So after I pulled the Princess of Pentacles and the Chariot, at the bottom of the deck, I have the Four of Pentacles, Lord of Earthly Power. So what I think this is saying is that I am going to tap into Earth, because I was reading myself before this, and I only have it done for about half my deck, but I'm actually taking time to write on my cards what elements it resonates with, what zodiac, yes or no, and also just plainly putting what I feel the card means. Just one or
I like
a few
that.
words.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that with some of my deck. It's not completely finished.
And that would resonate, or that would infuse your deck even more with your energy and let it align with you.
Yes, because you're putting your own personal, when you write down intention, that's powerful. But when you use it with another divination tool, such as tarot, it makes it even more powerful.
Nice. Number 8. So when you're doing your reading and you get all your cards out, you can ask for further clarification on any of the cards. If you're like, Spirit, tell me more about this card right here. And you just keep shuffling, let it spit out more cards. And each one of your cards can end up with a whole galaxy of cards underneath of it, right?
Yep, I agree. Spirit, you can ask Spirit to clarify however many times you want until you feel like within your heart you got it. And they will give you the correct clarifying cards. If you are intuitively reading and you ask, it's okay to ask for more than one clarification. Spirit knows what symbolism will mean something to you. Tarot knows what word or what zodiac or what element or the picture or even the card itself will resonate with you. And I would like to say that the more major arcana that come out in a spread, it means the more powerful the reading is.
Nice. Okay, number 9. You can use more than one deck in a reading. I suggest using more than one deck in a reading. You might use your whichever tarot deck you're choosing, and then you might fill it in with like 3 or 4 different oracle decks or other kinds of decks to get further information, right?
Yep. So I agree with that. So I love my Starseed Oracle deck. I also have a Rumi Oracle deck and also a Female Empowerment Oracle deck and the Empathic Oracle deck. So I only have 4, but
I have several as well. Her sister has several as well. So, you know.
Yep, you can draw your basic spread with your tarot. I recommend reading tarot first because Oracle is different than tarot. I mean, they are both cards.
Right.
They're both divination tools, but they are different energies. I feel like Oracle is more, here's how you get it done. Here's the advice. Here's how you go about it. But Tarot's like, this is how it is.
Tarot's like, listen, bish.
Yes, exactly. Tarot is just more straightforward and just gives you the answers. But Oracle is like the soft support system that you need. But also, there are tougher Oracle decks out there. If you go search for Oracle decks, or even if you have some, you'll know what I mean by tougher. They just hand you the energy differently.
Like those ones that I have up there with the, what are they called? The shadow?
Yeah, the shadow deck.
They're going to make you cry.
Yeah, there are some Oracle decks that are very, like...
They're emotional. Like when, I was having an emotional issue with someone recently, and I was like, if I could hear what their heart had to say to me, what would they say? And I shuffled and let the cards spit out, and it was things like, I'm really sorry, but I don't know how to tell you. It's stuff like that, and it tugs at your heart. So it's like tarot gives you the information and the data, and then the oracle cards can fill in the emotional and whatnot. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say that tarot is the structure, and oracle is like the fluffy stuff around it. Think of like it as like a body.
I was going to say tarot's the bed, and oracle is like the pillows and comforter.
Yeah, or like tarot is your skeleton, and then like oracle is like your meat and bones and your skin. No, your bones is the tarot, but I think you know what we're trying to say.
You get it.
They go together, but they are not the same thing.
And just, we will try our best to link to all of these cards in the description box below. I know a few of them are from Etsy. Most of them we can get on Amazon, but we're going to try our best to link to them below if we can find the links. Okay? All right, last but not least, and we've already talked about this multiple times, but we're just going to reinforce it here because it's so important. Follow your gut, right? If the book is telling you something and you're like, that doesn't feel right, that doesn't feel like what they're trying to say to me, or that doesn't really fit with me, follow your gut.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And also, part of receiving accurate tarot readings is taking care of yourself and your mind and your soul. If you don't believe tarot is going to work,
just like with the pendulum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like if you go into it a complete skeptic and you're like, oh, this isn't going to work, you're telling yourself it's not going to work, so it's not going to work. But if you go into it with whatever the universe has to tell me, I accept the message, and you believe that the tarot will work, I believe the cards will work 1,000 times better for you versus if you tell yourself it's not going to work. So it is about believing in yourself, because this is my personal truth. Everybody has a God within. Everybody has their own soul tribe and the group of angels that is working with them. And if you allow yourself to open up and be susceptible to their helping energies, they will return the favor tenfold.
Well said. And the other thing I want to add too is that once you establish your relationship with your cards, you know they're charged, you have this relationship with your deck, trust the deck.
Yes. I don't know if I want to say something. So I've noticed that personally, going back on what she said, is that the cards are their own thing. They're their own sovereign being. They work on their own. I've even noticed that when I partake in a little CBD session,
to put it politely,
when I partake in a smoke session and I turn to the cards, I can feel the energy almost so much more powerful. I mean, I could intuitively read very well with a sober head, but
it's probably because your guard is down a little bit. When you think like your ego is down, you're less inhibited. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and also when I find that I play with tarot in a different altered mind state, that I can actually almost read it better, and it almost makes me stronger and better. And I'm not saying that should...
We're not advocating. We're not saying that this is a prerequisite or that you need to go do this. No. We're not advocating
that whole part out.
She is... It's okay, honey. I mean, you're sharing your truth. So she's just saying from her experience... This is what happens.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope this helped you, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions for us, leave them down in the box below, and if we get enough questions, we'll do a follow-up.
Yes.
And if you think that baby girl would have some things to add to this big YouTube party and that she would bring value to humanity by sharing the things that she knows, leave me a comment and hit the like button. Let us know. We want to encourage her. She's afraid. She's nervous. She's a little camera shy, but I think she did great, and I think she has so much to contribute.
Yes, I agree. Thank you for having me on the Wholeness Shift today, and
I love you.
I love you too. And if you guys would like to see me start making my own content, I would talk about chakras and Reiki and human consciousness and the Schumann resonance and the 5D earth and just all things spiritual
All the
that
things
I know about, and I am always learning.
Well, and you have other things to add too. I mean, you can help people. You've been dealing with this your whole life, and so you have a perspective for young people who have gone through this and want to develop. And what do I do when it's scary, or how to keep my vibes up? How does that affect things?
Yep.
Because going through this with spiritual gifts as a teenager or an adolescent,
That was so hard.
so hard and so
so hard.
scary. And so you have a lot that you could contribute to all generations, but especially the younger generations as well.
Yes, and that is, I believe, my soul's mission is just to share my knowledge and what my soul tribe feeds to me. I'm a channeler. I do channel, and information just pours through my body. And like how my mom said, I think it was at the beginning of the video, like, I feel like I do have a lot to offer humanity. So if you guys would like to see me on YouTube, so just leave a little likey like or something. But this was a lot of fun today, and I hope that I can start making more content, and I hope that you'll subscribe.
Bye. We love you. Until next time.
Until next time, bye guys.